Oops. Hello. Guess one has to be in touch with the events. This year I'm not saying much to my friends. It's gonna fall down. There you go. There you go. This is Happy New Year 2023. The first week of the month, I talk always about vibration. The second week is about what is insight. The second week of the month of what conforms, the border, the component as well, and the structure as such. And the fourth week talk about the outside and the environment. And the last days between months, which are sometimes they exist or not, try to bring a sequence between the last week and the first week of next month. This is just an experiment. I have put words randomly 2 years ago. It was made for my daughter Debbie, and I'm still inspired for her and the next generations. She's 28 years old, 29. Yes, 29. I will be 49 in the 10th of January. So she's 29. And my other children are teenagers. So I do wish is a better world. And this year I have put my settings to just get to study some country a month and try to involve this, because at the beginning was too hard. But it's part of the pattern that I am doing. So it has nothing to do with this channel. So it's going to be in another platform. Don't want followers. I am used to have whatever. It's just part of bringing continuity with different shift shapes, because this is just a conversation about vibration this week, talking randomly. And I'm trying to cut and not listen about gossips, and it's been too much for 2022 for me. If possible, I'll try to pray to rewire my mind. So I still like crime and murders and killers, and if I could bring an end to the darkest core, I will be there with my imagination. I don't want to talk about political things. Everyone has their work and they study for that. For this year, just celebrate what I have, and bring a little bit more of material and color if possible, try to draw a stone and go outside and get a few stones. Um, Paint runes or the symbols of the I Ching, the symbols of the Bible, the fish, the chalice. The cross is taking responsibility and having accountability. Is not really the Christian way of putting the cross on others, as if one cross is better. So I know that many people live from being famous and it's very important to be liked. It's not my theme. So my prayer goes for every existing being that needs to celebrate itself to a higher level of consciousness, intelligence, in a continuity of sharing the world with one another. So I will pray. I will pray on 2023 for myself to not click on put my energy, not even to complain when I know my work is sacred. Anything that is yours is sacred. And so that's how I see it. Sometimes I wish to talk about politics and what I read in the newspaper. It just let I think people are in good hands now and they know what they're doing, and I love to honor and support with my mind those who are creating the program and the architecture that is not only cybernetic but financial and political. Um, the leaders of this world, so they can relay with one another and to know how they are telling their people how to interact as we are moving forward into the future. So it's going to be very tough for me to not give energy to drama. So I will have to invest myself just on that. It's going to be hard because it's addictive. It's like, I thought this is like living heroin. I mean, I've never been a drug addict, never brought drugs for consumption. For consumption. I have been addicted to men who take drugs, which is an alternative way of being an addict because you don't take the drugs, but you feel the height of your partner. So I would say, don't think I am any better than you because I am taking the height from you. So it makes me look as if I am the good person, but I'm not taking advantage of being supposedly clean. It is sad. It is sad the one is naturally high and one has to look for these characters who don't have a natural height, so you have to lie sometimes wishing someone could respect your freedom and space. And it's something one learns, I guess. It's not on any book to learn or anyone can tell you. So it's something one has to worship alone. It's like people will want to take from you, but nobody will honor that. So it can be very dangerous. The relationships, um, they are fresh. They are fresh souls who think that immortality or the spiritual world, that we can sometimes dominate and manipulate minds through arts and political powers and strings. Some kill people to be closer to death. Some want to die because there is no connection in life. And they may kill themselves or the others or create wars that are justified for that to be immortal. So there's a big disassociation with the self and why we are here on this earth. So to remember the good times is good enough. To remember that which we have lived and shared. Those memories are still in our body. It's not just in our brain, but in our body and in our soul and in our emotions as well. So people can distract you and take away from you. It's very harming for humanity when follows that path. It's okay for a moment, but I enjoy to see influencers on the internet, young people getting to joke about how they see the Russians, and because they know who they are and they know how their work is moving towards. And I hope the influencers and news around the world start to get together as well, forming a global system for peace as we move ahead. So, well, I'm not very happy. So, why should I wish you a happy new 2023? I guess I'm okay. I cannot complain because my roof is dripping water. You know, people supporting war in Ukraine for more people to die. So they want to create a dialogue of peace. So they will have to see more death and live in more misery. It's the natural order of things, right? And where's the business then if you don't want a globalization? Do you want a globalization? Or you want to divide the world? So this is a dialogue that takes responsibility on a higher level. And it has nothing to do with the Bank of Switzerland or the Bank of England or your social status. It has to do much with the direction of affairs where we're creating this. And this is the great effort and work. So having fun with it as well and jovial. It's going to be very hard to not click on things that are not my theme, but I am attracted. Yes, is moving towards learning of behavior and dynamics. So I wish I had love to share, but I have none. So I only have blissfulness, but blissfulness is quite empty. So it's not like outrageous ecstasy. Ooh, just it's just ready to see what is coming. Um, this is a talent that I am going to talk about in this week, and as this week is the first week of the year, I come to understand that looking for talent around the world with the influencers is going to be just an example. But I'm not talking about the West world and the free world. It's just an example. It's only an example. So, because I've just chosen places where I would love to see a mansion in a village just to study a country that is evolving. And then I have put Switzerland because I always love to go to Switzerland since I'm a child. Um, I love Haiti and melted cheese. We used to eat fondue in the winters. My mother would talk about Swiss cheese and melted cheese, even though I try not to eat cheese. It's a temptation. So I love to go to see CERN. I really there's a reason to go to CERN. I love the dog, the Haiti had as well, the San Bernard, big dogs. So that's the only city. The rest are just. I mean, there are more that I wish to know, but it's not that I really want to do this, but somebody else could do it. I think to some extent in my life, of course, I would love to visit this mansion into village and communicate with them and learn how to celebrate their work and talk with architects and a new law of how this is not an organization. I do not believe organizations are capable of doing this, but ordinary people creating their mansion into a village. But it's a new type of property that at the same time is colloquial. the people have their credit, and who knows, maybe they will need. It is important that the person that is doing it has awareness with handling money and saving money and being able to pay its bills and being able to reason, rationalize. So it can teach others face to face when it's coming, and not just from Zoom internet and without being killed, as my father was murdered from a village that he was doing, but they didn't want to pay the credit. So, of course, there has to be someone in charge, and people have to learn to delegate powers and how important we are when we delegate powers as well, and learn from these very basic needs to achieve balance and fluency. So, in this human interaction, we cannot just cooperate but celebrate life. What others have is nature. They have more contact with the earth, away from civilization. You can become more sensorial, uh, walking away from the mind and all that which obstructs your feelings. So you become more animalistic, that's for sure. There's nothing wrong because we are animals, and there is beauty in it as well. It's just that people need tools and people need to learn how to talk with each other about numbers, money, and timing and doing things. There's nothing wrong with that. With time being and those in charge, one could learn how to and I'm not gonna say everything because everything has its own accords. So 2022 has been an year of something I never wish in the future. Um, I miss my world of roleplay, yet I cannot roleplay with so many hackers. So it's totally misunderstood and stolen, and unvaluable. It is a shame and disgusting to see the I have shared something that has not worked. So being realistic in this present time is very important. So it's very important to see that everyone is elemental for what they're doing. These plays are set for everyone to do what they have to do. So what I got to do is just let it go, let it be, and simply focus with what I don't have to say, and where could I just invest my intelligence It is true that my soul goes away beyond my reason, so I can't help it. I wish my children the best. I wish to nourish them and be with them. It is my rights as a mother, and for all the work that I have made. I have more work to give yet. It has to move accordingly. So, if the devil has boundaries and is based on bondage, why not we take measure towards these parameters, these logistic movements? To every little degree and word and sound, and how we dare to open up to pass a portal and create an understanding, even with its own differences. So we can move from the profane to the sacred with more intensity. It is normal that the mind will want to postpone, because the mind is it's just a cage of information, but it's not the reality of what's going on. You can be connected to internet until the day you die and just keep with your robotic life. And what happened in reality for the people or yourself, everything is the same, so it's okay. Let people die, let traumas consist. Yeah, let the earth be exploited so its soil has no more beauty. I mean, who cares about recycling, really, right? Who cares about my method of recycling? All this, the could just multiply. All the answers that are already there to multiply. Just postpone. Yeah, let's postpone, because the world of entertainment and being just sucked by it. So everything is known in internet sooner or later. Um, when we go beyond judgment to see what's essential and needed, we can mature and let go. So that is on my part is a question. Will I be able to let go in 2023? So my father was murdered, so I will still click on criminal m- activities, which are murders and victims. Sometimes it's just part of a dead zone. Uh, these people are innocent. Also, the murders. They want us to bring us closer to that which never dies. as they are drawn to. Um, we need to explore these things in virtual reality without having to affect. It's no need to go there to kill. There's no need to kill in real life. So um, everyone can find their own agendas. And here we have this vibration on prayer. So it is good to prepare. It is good to prepare. I'm not a believer. I don't believe in manifesting. Manifesting is for other people that are in the realm of make believe, because they have not achieved their own state. So in character traits for characters that are from reality to fantasy characters, they are witches, those who are they are learning. They're witches, they're manipulators, they are scheming, they're learning. They want to go higher level, but they're using elements, they're learning from the elements. And um, an alchemist is different because it's already beyond the material. So there are many traits and characteristics that are drawn to. So beauty and love is it is an attraction that is for the masses, but it's not just the highest beauty from Psyche or Persephone. It is on a material level that it has no grace. It's nothing that is going to be given for anyone. It's only visual. It has no effect, but for those who cannot be creative. So you are just projecting to people who are below that expectancy, and they think that is it. So it does work for its own system of belief, where they all share the structure, they all share the composition, but the rest of the world is different. So you could never achieve that image and projection universally. So that's it. Because is manipulating with the matter, is manipulated with the material world, is selfish, is it doesn't have a state of its own, and it could never have it because everything that is taking is borrowed, is from others. It is stolen, is taken. People are doing it to just to eat because they to belong. They are not in the for the wall. They are for themselves as well. They love each other because of that image, that projection, but that is not the essential truth that multiplies and ripples throughout the times and conquers universally, because we have an affinity there. And that is not something you just get from one day to another from from taking from others. So this kind of people will just belong to that hierarchy of they need to project because they are learning. They need to project because they don't know nothing else but that. Um, a true state is the one of a kingdom of the gods. The gods have a state of their own. Whatever is in a kingdom, there is in an address, or they belong to an element of the air or an element of the natures that is transitional. Because when some characters have those who work in the media, they are handling information, even though they have their address, and you can find them with certain people wherever they go. They are on the movement of channeling, such as Hermes in the Greek gods. The god from India is Ganesh, who is a channeler as well. And some say it's Loki in the North gods, a trickster, a channeler. And because he is a god that is not from the Nordic gods, he is like a titan. He is the god of titans. He's the god of giants. So nature, we look at the in the image of God, which is within all of us as one. And when the Christianity brought, there is only one God. I mean, the Jews are very selfish and they are very racist. They've been always racist, the Jews, just for them. This is what I said to the director of my school when I went to see her just a few years ago in Madrid, in Santa Maria de los Rosales. And I told her, because she was sad, why giving such a good education, some kids, 1 of 100, can be so mean and they try so much to give such a good education. So I told her, don't worry, you have 99 who are doing well. I told her, look at what I did. And then she continued and said, like Hitler. And I told her, but the Jews created Hitler because the very Jews were racist. I guess in those times, everyone was racist. People didn't mingle really. So it's not to blame anyone. It's just what we create, but we cannot see it because we're so in our own box. And this is our signature, and this is our image, and this is how we're gonna sell ourselves, and this is our story and print through our life. To give what? In every second and minute and hour and day and a week and month and year. And there you see the you just want to be a story and have a laugh because you grew up so repressed. My mother gave me everything I wanted it, but I thank her for the desk that she never gave me. So I grew up very resented because she never gave me a desk for my room. I have my own room. So I would always argue, why can't I have my room? Because as a big sister as well, you like your own space, and your little sister comes and you have to teach her. So, you know, get to invest in yourself as much as you wish. Do your things. Even though you do, but your sister breaks through, and you have to be there for your sister. So I wish to have a desk to not be this, and I really hated it. She invests so much on herself. She would buy these shoes. She would have all this, go to Paris, go to do all these things. Uh, and it is now that I can enjoy my desk as never before. I mean, I always had a big desk. Normally, I would get a desk that is for a family to eat, and that would be my escritory and surround myself with. But that was because of thanks to how much I desired to have my own desk, to have my own. So yeah, and one can come to believe that one is not dominant, that one is very free. Or there comes a time in life where you realize, ah, I am more jealous and dominant than I've never been. Maybe you have find your reason to protect that. It's yours. So you would do it knowingly, and that can hold you together to quite an extent. So, well, it is hard to not put my thoughts in what's going on in the world. So, it is good to juxtapoint, just keep up about what is for this week, that is talent, that vibration, that is for the year as well, to look for talent in others, in myself. So, I wrote a list of countries, one for each month, and then I wrote the list of the countries the Father Francis said in his speech of Christmas. So I put them into columns with the month, and I said, I didn't even match one country. Because who wants to go to these countries to build a mansion into a village? When I was working in Jordan, in the Middle East, I thought that you could only help with countries that are next to those who are in conflict, so they can learn to stop their conflict. The moment they stop their conflict collectively, they will have mansions into villages there. So that's something that is hard to understand, but no one should ever risk their life, no matter how good you are, till they get the message, because there is internet. Now we are creating the best form of mediation and influencing that it should be sharpened to its point, so they get it, they get the message. How can you be providing food to a black hole or any human being that is? There are so many countries that will prosper and multiply because there is no violence. I'm talking about violence and risking one's life. Um, so these are measures. Don't wish anyone to lose their father or mother or family member, as I lost my father. Um, there is no need for that. I have developed a great formula while taking care of my daughter, and I created an Occupy movement while breastfeeding. So I do believe that you can still work and be a mother, and I have my rights as a mother. And we have to move all this immigration away because it's dangerous for those who cannot see because they are engulfed with money and fame and likes and votes on their own furnitures and decoration, people who decorate them. They cannot see the dangerous of bringing people who are only going to groom hatred in this country. I recommend people who work in government to go and live where the migrants live and listen to the hatred they have towards our people in our countries here in Europe or anyone who has more money. They're only insults. Even people that are from India or Pakistan, they don't appreciate that they have put Rishi Sunak in power. They say that he's being played as a puppet. I say, no, they have chosen him because he has studied for finance and he's the only person with fresh energy because he's young as well. So I don't think it's a matter here to look because someone is born in a country. They have chosen him because of his attributes and accomplishment to deliver this program that is based on finance. So they are these bastards and because the hatred towards the colony, the hatred towards always towards those who have more. This has to end, and just to see the pedophiles are supporting the transgender agenda with the teenagers as well. Something that I don't want to talk more about. Uh, the West world has nothing to do with that. These are just a few, and fortunately, a few that have unlimited money are pedophiles investing on this behind the curtains of power. I know that it's nothing to feel proud about because they were raped when they were children. So they think it's okay. That is okay. But they don't understand their distortion and their aberration. So there is an attraction towards and an investment towards this movement, towards this sickness, which should be understood such a sickness. It is okay to love everything because you are full of love. Another thing is that you have an aberration and you cannot love everything because you have a twisted way to only love in this way. So just love with your kind as you can, and understand that there needs a lot of work to be done with tantra, with learning massage in school, to be conscious about the body, to prevent sickness. All that which is considered to be taboo and sinful, because people are just led by unconscious impulses, and could be an art, an understanding from far away as well, very from a long distance, that could be even through time. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You need partnership. You need transparency. You need to move away from gaslighting, disassociations, the insisting to make believe. All this comes from 80% of abuse. And if the strongest wins, that is the psychology of the abuser, who loves the innocence and the carnage to get more. So one has to understand the psychology of the darkest core, which is dressed with gold and all this obstentious. And there are a lot of people also who have unlimited power, who need to be considerate and need to come out in order to be rightful, because they do believe to exist in an unlimited place where they can do whatever they want and everything is fine, no judgment, and to be narrating a story that is going to become true in the future because it's going this way and it's fun, because you are alone and it's the only way to communicate, to be whatever skills and talent you can have. If your skin is more sensitive, you would be more in touch with the realities of this world and what is going to happen, which is already happening. So there are multiple stories going on, multiple levels, multiple zigzags, and those are not just vibrations. We have this notion, we have this instrument that is called intuition, is given from intelligence, is a common sense. This intuition is as unpredictable as it could be premeditated. So we are dancing with the unknown, and at the same time, we are stepping on solid ground. And this is part of the vibration where we are moving as a field, and maybe we can feel that we are alone and that we're getting to be heard and that our words are resounding through the internet, and some just don't get the sentence, they don't get the work, the great work. So be it. I think it's been enough for me. For me. So uh, many stories will keep rippling because it's part of that which is showering down. And I hope it cleans away as well as we move on. Bye. Happy New Year 2023 for those who have talents, like to experience with tools and one another. Bye.